Welcome to the Small Man Show again.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
What do you want to talk about today?
I have been seeing posters of, or rather, promos of Surfira.
Hmm.
And incidentally, I saw that the first inaugural flight calibration was happening at the Navi Mumbai airport. So
Okay.
I thought maybe we'll talk about the aviation sector, how that operates, and what's happening in India particularly.
So, what is happening in the aviation sector in India?
So I think we should start by just understanding some basics, because there are some very interesting aspects which are specific only to that sector.
In India specifically?
No,
or
globally,
Okay,
globally,
ठीक है.
right? So see, if you think about the sector as such, right, it really took off, pun intended, after the jet engine was created, right? Once you had jet airliners, as they were called, then you had people you could travel across the world, and that's when they started. They had already started replacing ships as the main mode of transport, long distance transport. But then after jet engines were incorporated into planes, then it became the de facto, because time difference was just too much, right? So everybody started flying. And those airlines, I mean, now they are called as full service airlines. But those airlines essentially were, I think the model particularly developed a lot in the US. Reason being geography, right? US was such a huge country. Flying from let's say one coast to another coast. Like it's roughly, if I'm not mistaken, about 3 times the width of India.
Yeah.
Right? So that was a pretty far distance. So that meant that there was a lot of domestic demand for people who wanted to travel from, let's say, New York to San Francisco, for example, right? So, or anywhere in between, number of cities. And the way US has developed, you have people living all across the country. And so the aviation sector really developed in that country, right? And essentially you had your large airlines there, and all of them used to provide essentially seats, as in seat preferences, meals, a lot of baggage allowance. So that went on. And however, one thing very importantly or very interestingly, right from that time, this sector has been very risky.
From that time on.
Yeah, and I mean risky from investment point of view.
Yeah,
As a way of traveling,
yes,
it is very safe.
It is the safest.
It is one of the safest way of traveling, right? But as an investment or as a business, it's been very risky.
What are the reasons behind that?
So the main reason is that there is this one huge cost that every airline incurs, which is completely unavoidable, which is fuel. Right? Aviation fuel is
Fluctuating
and no,
prices.
just the amount of fuel that an airline needs to fly, that can't be controlled, right? You really can't. There's no way around it, right? And that's something that commodity keeps having fluctuations, as you said. So the fluctuation part is there, and also the fact that that's such a big cost which you can't change. You can change a lot of things with your operations, but when the plane flies, it's going to consume this much fuel. But that's a fact. And every airline across the world suffers from that. As a result, anytime there is a sudden increase in cost, a lot of these airline companies go into losses. And the ones who are already in losses probably end up shutting down. Right? So that's been the case across the world. If you see in the last, let's say 10-15 years, a number of European airlines have had to close down, had to restructure, have gone through bankruptcy. For example, there is a airline now which is called Swiss, which used to be Swissair. And then they went through bankruptcy and they got taken over and they restructured, etc., etc. And there are so many examples. In fact, particularly in Europe, a lot of airlines had to go through a lot of bad times because fuel prices, and then that leads to losses, etc., etc.
So this happens mostly because of the fuel prices.
100%. It's fuel, the cost of fuel and the fluctuation in the price. That's the number one. And then everything else adds on, right? If people are traveling less, if there's more competition, all of that leads to essentially a very volatile industry or volatile stock. In fact, a lot of analysts and investors strictly avoid getting into aviation stocks. They say, bhai, aur koi bhi chalega, not this. Ye nahi.
So like आप kind of break down करो कि so let's say if for a airline for one passenger if it needs 100 rupees
Right.
to spend, so how much does the fuel take?
From what I remember, it's about 70%.
Okay, so out of 100 there's 70
That's
rupees.
the
Okay.
problem. That's the problem.
Achha.
That's the problem.
And ऊपर से if they have competition, they need to give a
Correct.
lot of offers.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the other point, right? Often what happens is when a new airline enters, you suddenly have oversupply. Now everybody is competing for that same pie, right? अरे यार अब तो कुछ करना पड़ेगा नहीं तो this guy will get in. And so it always faces that. Of course, that gets balanced out. Then somebody goes out of business and suddenly the prices go up. But that's what I'm saying. There is volatility compared to any other sector that you look at. The amount of volatility, the amount of ups and downs are just too much.
So right now, as much as I am aware,
Yeah.
in India, almost all the airline companies are into losses. ठीक. ऊपर से there's surge in price for tickets.
True.
As someone who wants to travel, they are also facing trouble because of it.
Correct.
So no one is benefiting from this. ऐसा होता कि हाँ, that prices of tickets are very low, that is why companies are suffering, then it could have been like a logical answer to that.
Yeah, understood.
But if there is constant rise in prices of the tickets, why is it still that they are in losses?
So Indian aviation sector in particular is more interesting, even more interesting. So number one, to answer your question, firstly, remember we don't have a very strong currency, right? Now you understand that crude oil has always been traded in US dollar, right? So basically any currency which is strong against the dollar is going to have a relatively cheap crude oil. Which means obviously all the other extracts from crude oil, all the other things that are made from crude oil are also going to be affected, right? So aviation fuel is one such thing that gets made from crude oil. So the minute crude oil price goes up, everything else goes up. So it particularly hits India hard, right? Because $1 is what today, 83 rupees.
Yeah.
Right? तो ₹1 थोड़ा सा 1% बढ़ गया, इधर आपको बहुत ज़्यादा impact दिखता है. So that's one reason. Secondly, see, India is still a developing country. So disposable income is still low. Right? So we still think, अरे यार ये तो बहुत महंगा हो
What
गया.
is disposable income?
So disposable income essentially, for again in a very short answer, is the money you is left over, right? After spending on your essentials, right?
Okay.
आपने खाना खा लिया, थोड़ा कपड़ा खरीद लिया, घर का रेंट दे दिया, जो बचा वो disposable income है. That's what you'll use for traveling, right? Especially if it's a vacation. Right? You'll say यार airline का खर्चा नहीं पड़ रहा है, तो I'll not use that.
Yeah.
Right? So disposable income is still not as high as a lot of foreign countries, and the fact that you are looking at it in rupees. Yeah, you are saying अरे बाप रे 10,000 का टिकट है. You're not saying अच्छा $100 का टिकट है या $1,200 का टिकट है, whatever it is. So that's another reason. So you have one, and thirdly, till maybe 10 years back, we didn't have that many airports. Right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't something that probably the government wanted to do but had not been able to do it. Today the situation is changing actually. You are right about the fact that not just our airlines in losses. If you see a very interesting statistic I came across, on average, one airline company fails every year in India. Per year.
Yeah.
On average. And this is going back
since past 25 years.
yeah, about 20 or 25 years. One airline company a year. It's unbelievable. It's shocking.
This year it was Go Air.
Go Air, yeah, correct. Last one that we have heard is Go Air. Before that, it was Jet. Before that, there was a string of them. In fact, I remember there used to be a company called East West Airlines. That's probably the first one I remember that went down.
Okay.
Right? And the fact that Air India didn't go down is not really something we should boast about. It had about 61,000 crores of debt. Right? When government finally sold it. So as good as shut down. I mean, if the government is having to put in more and more money just to keep it going, and that's as good as closing down, right? So in India, situation was very bad. Today, at least, like I said, coincidentally, I just saw a video where they were calibrating the runway for the Navi Mumbai airport. So that's what gave me this idea about today's topic. So at least the government is building a lot of airports. If you've been to Goa, the new airport at Goa apparently is fantastic.
No, never been to Goa.
So I think do that. Put that on your list of to do. But that's a fantastic airport that they've already built. They are building a huge airport in Zevar in UP, which is going to be the largest in Asia.
Okay.
And that sounds fantastic to me, because to build an airport which is larger than anything in China particularly, or Changi in Singapore, is an achievement. Whenever it gets, I don't have the all the details. So that's a huge airport. Mumbai, like I said, Navi Mumbai Airport is supposed to start sometime next year. I think March or April of next year, and work is going on well. Thankfully, it's already been delayed. So I think that bodes well for us. Again, it's still not addressing your core problem of crude oil. That's not going to change. But at least now there will be enough flights available.
Are there enough passengers?
Yes, absolutely. The problem has always been it's a chicken and egg problem, right? For example, Mumbai Airport, if you saw the news 2 months back, Mumbai Airport was forced to cut down on its flights because it was getting overburdened. Right? So that means there is clearly demand, right? I mean, that's the best answer to your question. Is there enough demand? They were forced to cut down their flights. कि भाई नई जगह नहीं है.
No, why I'm asking this?
हाँ.
No, why, because in UP,
Right.
if they are going to build something like this big airport, that the thing is, everywhere the income bracket is very different.
It's not meant for UP. It's not meant for UP.
Yes.
The airport is not meant for UP.
It is meant for UP in terms of population.
No, that's what. Let me answer that. The way the airport is located, and maybe we can show that graphic on the map.
Okay.
The airport is meant to reduce the traffic to Delhi airport. What is
Okay,
happening
so it is
right
catering
now?
to Delhi, Noida, Gurgaon
Exactly. Precise. Perfect. You got it.
Okay.
What is happening is people from all around Delhi are traveling to Delhi airport because that has the most flights. So somebody who's living in Noida or Greater Noida or even the sort of slightly eastern side of UP is traveling all the way to Delhi airport right now. So this is not meant to sort of cater to the rural mass of UP or something like that. It is meant to reduce the load or split the load of Delhi airport, much like what Navi Mumbai will do for Mumbai. Similar thing. Or if you have seen the news again few days back about them building another airport in Tamil Nadu, which is going to be very close to Bangalore airport.
Acha.
Again, it's meant to distribute that load. Okay, so the idea
So
is
if
not
it is planned in the right way, it
Correct.
would help us.
Absolutely.
But I think we were also discussing it before that they are building so many airports that there are a lot of airports which is not functioning at all.
Absolutely, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So what's the reason behind making those airports in those locations where it is not going to give you anything?
Correct. Again, the short, blunt answer is a lot of those airports were essentially poll promises, election promises. They were not really done with respect to where there is enough people who have disposable income, where there is cluster and stuff like that. It was like मैं मेरे city में airport बनाऊंगा. And that's why, in fact, there is a list on Wikipedia. We can share that link. I think it was something like 26 or 28 airports in India which are dysfunctional. If only we could shift those, that would be so lovely. Just pick up the airport and put it next to Mumbai
just
airport.
like cricket pitches.
Yeah, exactly, right? You would have airports. So just to give you a statistic, right? New York has about 1/3 the population of Mumbai. Roughly, less than 1/3. When I say Mumbai, I mean Mumbai region. If you compare the Mumbai metropolitan region, मतलब कौन सा आया उसमें municipality? Mumbai, Thane, Navi Mumbai, Vasai Virar, Mira Bhayandar, all those 5-6 areas, which together is generally called as Mumbai.
Yeah.
Right? They have one airport right now.
Yes.
The population of that region.
Andheri and Andheri
One airport, the
yes.
Mumbai airport,
Yes.
right? So Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport. So that region, if you see the population of that region, right, is more than 3 times the population of the New York region.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So 1:3, usse zyada. New York City or area has been served by 3 airports. Is served by 3 airports. So that's the difference in terms of how much we need airports. So even if you say, yeah, but वो developed है, हम लोग developed नहीं हैं, but you still need 2 at least. You have 3 airports for a city that is 1/3 the size.
So when you're saying one airport, are you counting Terminal 1 or Terminal
Airport is where you have completely different set of runways.
Okay.
So New York has 3 airports, different locations. You have JFK, you have LaGuardia, and you have Liberty, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm getting the third one wrong.
Okay.
We can correct that. So you have 3. Newark, I think, is the third one. So you have 3 airports which serve that region. मतलब एक north में, एक west में, एक south में, that way. Same thing will happen here, right?
Yes, the runway is very like clustered.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because it's not a greenfield airport, right? The Navi Mumbai airport is a greenfield airport. They are planning 4 terminals. They are planning it in 3 phases.
Nice.
It's a beautiful. I mean, I love the design. It's been delayed, unfortunately, but they've planned it for the future. And I remember they're even planning a metro connecting the old and new airport, which again is going to be a problem, right? अरे मैं तो इधर उतर गया, मेरा next flight उधर से है. That will create a new problem. So they are creating a direct metro.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, finally it's
I
getting
mean,
planned.
when I get old, it would be completed by then.
No, the metro
No, the entire thing, the entire setting.
airport, Navi
Arey, I
Mumbai
was
airport.
saying it
I know.
sarcastically, yeah.
Yeah, that's how it used to be. I mean, Navi Mumbai airport has been in the works for a very long time. You're absolutely right. I think if we start digging around, I think किसी को maybe 2000 में idea होगा कि यार अब airport बनाते हैं, and now it's happening. So fair enough. But like I said, it's an interesting sector, and maybe that's why Mr. Jhunjhunwala got into it, right? If you remember, Akasa Air is
He
founded
got into it because of what? Because new airports are being built.
हाँ, because see, that becomes one more hassle that you have to deal with, ना? Because अभी for example, what used to happen earlier is, मैंने airline चालू किया, there are no gates available. Gate is, you know, where the airplane
Yes.
parks and you
Yes.
disembark or get boarded. अब यार उसके लिए भी मुझे fight मारना पड़ रहा है. That is one more hassle. As it is, I'm having to deal with all these issues of competition and high crude oil prices, etc. And now you are telling me, अरे sorry, gate available नहीं है. So now with so many airports coming up, at least that issue is sorted, right? Where the airport will say, यार please हमारे पास जगह है, आ जाओ. Right? So that, I mean, I'm not saying, I don't know, he didn't say that. That's my assumption, because I remember when he announced that idea, a lot of people from his investor community were like, अरे बाप रे, why are you getting into aviation? Right? As I mentioned before, it was one of those sectors that investors have never liked.
Yeah.
Because of volatility. कि नहीं यार, ये हम लोग नहीं करते. I remember my stock broker also told me कि सर नहीं, हम लोग वो sector में research नहीं करते. It's just too risky. Right? So when the big bull got into this sector, people were like, yaar. And I'm also waiting to find out what it is that Akasa is going to do differently. Right? That is going to allow them to get over that. But having said that, you have Indigo, which is still doing okay in India.
Yeah.
So Indigo is doing okay.
So I have two questions.
Right.
One is that do you think fuel would continue to kill more and more airlines?
I feel that, of course, the basic structure is not going to change. 2-3 things might reduce its bite, reduce its potency of its effect. One, if you have enough infrastructure available, enough airports available, so at least that cost gets reduced, right? So
Cost of what?
cost of gate, there's a gate fee. So every time a plane
okay,
lands,
so there's higher gate fees.
if
we have
not
less
unavailability.
airports. Yeah.
So if you have enough airports, you can quickly start flights to wherever there is demand, right? So that gets reduced to some extent, right? That infrastructure, and they are doing something to reduce. So they are trying some bio-friendly aircraft fuels. They are adding some. Again, I'm not an expert on that, but there's some research going on where you can actually mix some other component with your aviation fuel, which is not only good for the environment, but it also reduces the cost. So that also will reduce the bite, as I said, of how much high crude oil can affect airlines. But it's always going to have that won't change until we have fully electric or solar powered planes or something like that. So वो एक part रहेगा. But I feel, given India's growth of GDP and growth of population, you really can't ignore that sector, right? More people is going to mean more people traveling from one place to another. That's just fact of life, right? And again, we have a huge country. It may not be as huge as the US, but it's still large enough, right? So for example, Mumbai, Delhi, right? 2 of the biggest cities in India.
Yeah.
What is the time for a train, fastest train? I think it's 8 hours.
From Mumbai to Delhi.
Mumbai to Delhi.
No idea.
I think 8 hours is the fastest. Maybe there is something faster, right? But a typical train takes about 14-16 hours. Whereas your flight takes 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the difference is still there. That delta is still there. It's not, अरे ठीक है ना पहुंच ही जाऊंगा. And there are so many more examples. Mumbai, Chennai will be, I think, slightly less. Mumbai, Bangalore, even lesser. But there are still enough cities which require connectivity, which only an airline can provide. Which trains can't replace so soon. मतलब सब जगह आप बुलेट ट्रेन नहीं बना पाओगे. Right? The infrastructure cost is much more. So it makes sense for
And much more complex.
much more complex. Absolutely right. But I think going back, we've been talking about Indigo and a couple of these. We should talk about this whole where this idea of low cost carrier came about.
Yes.
That's an interesting story, and it's in fact it's a case study that is discussed in many B schools. So in the 1970s, a guy by the name of Herb Kelleher had this idea कि यार कुछ अलग करते हैं in this sector, right? Till that time, it was a very regulated sector. It was what we call now as full fare, full service airline. यानी कि जो आज का एयर इंडिया या विस्तारा वो टाइप का एयरलाइन है. So what he thought, he said, no, yaar, let's make flying easy for everybody. Let's make it more affordable. So how do we do that? So along with a partner of his, he came up with this concept or came up with this airline called as Southwest Airlines, right?
Okay.
Now, Southwest Airline did 4 or 5 things which drastically reduced their costs. And therefore, they were obviously able to pass it on. So, made the fares cheaper. So, essentially, number one, he said, I will only fly one type of airline, one plane. He had a particular Boeing model. We'll put that on the screen.
ठीक है.
मैं यही खरीदूंगा सिर्फ. I will not have different types of planes. एक ही plane. वही खरीदेंगे. So he bought a Boeing, I think 737 it was. Boeing 737. Okay. Second, he focused on the US domestic market. Okay.
ठीक.
And that too not the major cities. Second level, third level cities. Okay, now as I mentioned to you, US was a much bigger country, relatively well off, much more demand. So, sort of second, not the biggest cities, but a second grade city.
ठीक.
So, he focused on these cities, typically, the tier 2, tier 3 cities as we would call them here. And so, I think I'll have to also explain one more thing. See, all these full fare airline as we call them, full service airline as we call them, they operate what is known as a hub and spoke model. Even today, the full fare airlines always operate a hub and spoke model. I'll explain that using Indian cities as an example. Okay, everybody may not be familiar with smaller cities in the US, right? So let's say you want to fly from Jaipur to Ranchi, right? Hub and spoke model में क्या होगा? You will fly first from Jaipur to Delhi,
ठीक.
then take another plane from Delhi to Ranchi.
तो connecting flights.
Connecting flight ही होता है. That connecting flight that we call is known as hub and spoke. उसमें क्या होता है? The airline locates most of its planes, repair facilities, crew at hubs. इसलिए hub and spoke. तो तुम point to point नहीं fly कर सकते. Unless you're going from Mumbai to Delhi, then fine. Right? Same
Because
way,
these are big hubs.
these are hubs.
Yes.
So उनके सारे planes fly into those hubs. Then people change planes and they fly out of those hubs. I'll give you one more example. If I want to fly from Pune to Chandigarh, for example, I will fly Pune, Mumbai, Mumbai, Delhi, Delhi, Chandigarh. Because the planes will converge on those cities and then fly out from there. This is called the hub and spoke model. Emirates आज भी ऑपरेट करता है. सो एमिरेट्स के सारे फ्लाइट्स पहले दुबई जाएंगे, फिर वहाँ से बाहर जाएंगे. करेक्ट. लुफ्तांजा के सारे फ्लाइट्स फ्रैंकफर्ट जाएंगे, फिर वहाँ से बाहर जाएंगे. सो इफ आई एम फ्लाइंग टू यूएस, आई एम फ्लाइंग टू न्यूयॉर्क फॉर एग्जाम्पल बाय लुफ्तांजा, आई विल गो मुंबई, फ्रैंकफर्ट, न्यूयॉर्क. तो ऑल द प्लेन्स विल कन्वर्ज ऑन फ्रैंकफर्ट, लोगों को रीडिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे. ये मॉडल है, ये अभी भी चलता है. बट हर्ब केलेहर सेड नहीं बॉस, मैं ये नहीं करूँगा, मैं हब रखूंगा ही नहीं.
Hub and spoke model is cheaper.
No. Hub and spoke, see, it's about how you use the planes. Hub and spoke model में एक फ़ायदा होता था, बिकॉज उनके सारे क्रू प्लेन एक जगह पे होते थे, राइट. बट हर्ब केलेहर का 2-3 चीज़ें उसने अलग ही की, राइट. नंबर वन, ही हैड अ वेरी लिमिटेड मार्केट व्हेन ही स्टार्टेड. इनफैक्ट स्टार्टेड इन द टेक्सास एरिया. सो ही सेड मुझे खाली ऐसी सिटीज़ को सर्व करना है जहाँ पे ये लोग ज़्यादा घुसे ही नहीं है. मैं वहाँ पे उनको कम्पीट करूँगा, यहाँ पे उनको किल करूँगा. So what he did was, he said, my plane will fly point to point and come back. ये hub वब का चक्कर नहीं चाहिए मेरे को. But because of that, there were limitations also. There are limitations also. As a result, he couldn't fly too far because उसका एक ही टाइप का प्लेन है. तो hub and spoke मॉडल में क्या होता है, तुम्हारे पास हर टाइप का प्लेन होता है, हर डिस्टेंस का प्लेन होता है, तो यू कैन सर्व एवरीबडी. This guy said नहीं boy, ये इतना distance small and medium route.
So this is the case with most of the low cost airlines, right?
I'll come to that. I'll come to how people have adapted that in India and everywhere else. This is, I am talking about 1970s, जब किसी को मालूम ही नहीं था, सब बोलते थे क्या कर रहा है boss? He had to go through a lot of bureaucratic problems also to get approvals. So this is not just it. Secondly, he said, in some cities, I will go to the smaller airport, which is cheaper. Again, in the US, you had multiple airports serving one city. So he identified that airport which was like, अरे ये basic है, अपने को चलेगा. So you have one type of airline, which means your crew and your pilots require less training. Low cost कम हो गया. Maintenance कम. Maintenance का खर्चा क्योंकि एक ही टाइप का प्लेन है, खर्चा कम. Smaller airport, खर्चा कम. He went even further. एक ही क्लास, जो अभी कॉमन हो गया है, तभी नया था. बिजनेस क्लास कुछ नहीं, एक ही क्लास है. खर्चा कम, बिकॉज उसका मेंटेनेंस, उसका अपहोल्स्ट्री वगैरह. खाना नहीं दूंगा मैं, दूंगा ही नहीं. पेड अनपेड पहले तो उसने, व्हेन ही स्टार्टेड देयर वाज नो फूड बिकॉज द फ्लाइट्स आर ओनली स्मॉल एंड मीडियम. तो ठीक है ना, 2 घंटे नहीं खाओगे क्या होगा, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा. इवन, एंड दिस इज समथिंग स्ट्रेंज बिकॉज वी हैवंट हर्ड ऑफ दिस इन इंडिया, सीट्स वर नॉट अलॉटेड. सीट्स वर नॉट अलॉटेड.
फर्स्ट कम फर्स्ट सर्व. यार रुमाल रख दो, ये मेरा सीट हो गया.
बस. राइट, सो वेरी यूनिक, एंड इट वाज रेवोल्यूशनरी एट दैट टाइम. यार ये कैसा टाइप का है. नाउ ऑल ऑफ दिस ऑल्सो मेंट दैट देयर प्लेन वुड, सो आप जो पूछ रहे थे ना एक्सपेंसिव है सस्ता है. नाउ उसने क्या बोला, भाई ये मेरा प्लेन है, राइट. व्हाट इज द बिगेस्ट कॉस्ट फ्रॉम अपार्ट फ्रॉम फ्यूल, व्हाट इज द बिगेस्ट कॉस्ट फॉर एन एयरलाइन? द प्लेन, राइट. प्लेन तो खरीदना पड़ेगा, दैट इज योर एसेट, राइट. एनी बिजनेसमैन विल से आई वांट द बेस्ट रिटर्न ऑन माय एसेट. ये क्या बोलता है बॉस, ये मेरा प्लेन जो है ना मैक्सिमम टाइम हवा में रहना चाहिए. सो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाएगा, फटाफट क्रू पैसेंजर्स को उतारो, दूसरे पैसेंजर्स को भरो, चलो. लगेज लिमिटेड, खाना भरना नहीं है, सीट्स अलॉट करनी नहीं है, चलो 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 जाओ. सो एवरीथिंग वॉज मेड इन सच अ वे दैट द प्लेन कैन, इट्स कॉल्ड टर्न अराउंड टाइम in aviation technology.
And that also helped reduce the ticket prices.
Exactly, कॉस्ट तो कम किया ही उसने. तो उसका मतलब क्रू का भी रिक्वायरमेंट कम हो गया, तुमको सीट का अलॉटमेंट नहीं करना है, कुछ नहीं करना है. सो दैट मेंट दैट सेम प्लेन कुड गो बैक एंड फोर्थ मेनी मोर टाइम्स. यानी अगर मान लो रेगुलर एयरलाइन 3 ही बार बैक एंड फोर्थ करेगा, तो ये 4 बार करेगा, तो एक फ्लाइट एक्स्ट्रा हुआ ना वही प्लेन पे. प्लेन का खर्चा बेटर निकला, रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट, रिटर्न ऑन एसेट. सो इज रिटर्न ऑन एसेट ग्रू. सो दैट रेवोल्यूशनाइज्ड Southwest. A while back we were talking about the fact that, you know, it's such a volatile industry, you know, there's so many losses. Till Herb Kelleher was around, I don't know, I haven't checked today, but till Herb Kelleher was around, they didn't have 1 year where they posted losses. Not a single year of loss. Imagine the difference. Meanwhile, around them, you know, airlines are going bankrupt. ब्लड बाथ हो रहा है, इसका प्रॉफिटेबल है, चल रहा है. सेम मॉडल, थोड़ा थोड़ा ऑब्वियसली एज दे ग्रू दे चेंज्ड, राइट.
सस्टेनेबल रहने के लिए.
सच नहीं सस्टेनेबल बिकॉज दे वेंट ऑल अक्रॉस यूएस ना. दे स्टार्टेड ऑफ इन वन पार्ट ऑफ यूएस, देन दे स्टार्टेड एक्सपांडिंग. तो थोड़ा थोड़ा उनका चेंज हुआ. यू कुड बाय फूड लेटर ऑन, राइट. सो ऐसा करके उसने एक्सपांड किया. बट बिफोर वी टॉक अबाउट इंडिया, आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट दैट गाय ऑल्सो. दैट गाय हिमसेल्फ वाज वन ऑफ दोज नॉन फंजिबल और अनकॉपीएबल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द एयरलाइन. He had an amazing personality. As a result, he gave this very amazing motivation to his crew, to his entire staff. Right? So they didn't feel like, यार हम लोग सस्ता वाला प्लेन में जा रहे हैं, यार हम लोग कुछ चीप कर रहे हैं. This guy had such a crazy personality. There is a story that he had a bet with one of his senior management person where he said कि नहीं मैं ना आपको 1 घंटे के नीचे कुछ तो कॉस्ट कर दूंगा. समथिंग दैट ही सेड कि मैं करके दिखाऊंगा. ये बोलेगा, इसने बोला हब केलेयर ने, तो कर ही नहीं पाएगा. बोला तूने किया ना, आई विल वेयर अ स्कर्ट एंड वेलकम द पैसेंजर्स.
जो आपने किया वो अगर तूने कर
ये जो आप बोल रहे हो कि इतना मैं कम करूंगा, तू करके दिखा, मैं ये करके दिखाता हूँ. एंड ही डिड दैट.
और उसने फिर किया.
स्कर्ट में खड़ा होके ही वेलकम पैसेंजर्स. एंड दैट्स व्हाट द एयरलाइन बिकेम नोन फॉर. दीज काइंड ऑफ क्रेजी थिंग्स दैट ही वुड डू. He would have parties where he would come dressed as Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
ऐसा सब करता था वो. And that became a personality. Someone who had another company once challenged him saying कि तुम्हारा जो tagline है ना, मेरा और तुम्हारा सेम है. I think it was just plain smart or something. and he sent him a legal notice. He replied back to him saying there's only one way to settle this. Let's have a boxing match. And they had a boxing match.
And he won.
Didn't matter, but it became great publicity. So it took away that एक kind of, you can say ना, एक impression कि अरे सस्ता वाला plane है. Suddenly it became a fun plane,
Yeah.
fun experience. So that was the other factor. You know, this goes beyond. This is his genius. This is his genius, and there's no other word. This is probably why, in like I said, in B schools, that company is so discussed. तो इसका जो ये add-on था ना,
That
वो too
I
much
think
था.
more than the concept, the person needs to be discussed more.
हाँ वैसा हो गया, because this guy bought that charm, pizzazz, management style, which is unique.
Yeah.
And that's what made them what they are today. And then now if we look at India, so practically this guy is like the father of low-cost aviation globally. But in India, probably you can credit Captain Gopinath for India. He was the one who bought Air Deccan. Right? Probably equally crazy guy, equally visionary guy. I mean, all visionaries are crazy, right? You know, उसका भी ऐसा एक crazy concept था. I don't know if you have heard of this, because it was slightly before your time, if I can say that. 1 rupee ticket.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
अरे वो trailer में.
Right? Trailer में है ना, but that's, you just found about it now. People
just
went
knew about
mad.
it again,
People went crazy. There were so many stories at that time. So every flight, he said, there'll be a particular number of tickets which will be 1 rupee plus taxes. He said, वो taxes मेरे को minimum भरने ही पड़ते हैं. I can't help. We will charge you 1 rupee. And people went mad. There were, the first day they opened it, line लगी थी बाहर, पुलिस बुलाने पड़े थे मुंबई एयरपोर्ट पे. न्यूज़ में आया था कि ये देखो सर, ये ऐसे लाइन लगी है, लोग वो 1 रुपये के टिकट लेने के लिए आए. हाफ द पीपल कुडंट बिलीव इट कि तो गिमिक है, मार्केटिंग है, तो ये लोग कुछ भी करते हैं. And there are stories, and again it's shown in the trailer and in the movie also, where people flew that and they met him and they cried कि मुझे नहीं लगा कभी लाइफ में मैं I could fly. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was one of those things, you know, the देश बदल रहा है वाला. It was a very big symbol, right? Where you had somebody could fly for 1 rupee. Anybody can fly. And in fact, his line was simply fly. Anyone can fly, giving India wings. There were very nice lines that they put out. It started off well. Now you're going to ask me, फिर क्या हुआ?
Ended up with Kingfisher.
No, not just that. Not just that. They also went through losses. Same problem. Crude oil prices, supply.
वो आज नहीं चल पाता वो आज के दिन ना. If अगर आज एयर डेकन होता.
No, but that depends. Already other low cost है कि नहीं है?
मतलब?
They were the first low cost. उसके बाद तो everybody jumped on the bandwagon. Everybody said, अरे तो हम भी कर सकते हैं. Remember, he didn't have the luxury of doing what Herb Kelleher did. ना, he couldn't say कि मैं ये एयरपोर्ट पे जाऊंगा, इस पे नहीं जाऊंगा. चल इधर एयरपोर्ट ही नहीं है.
हाँ.
यहाँ पे वो ऑप्शन ही नहीं है. Many places they want to go, there is no airport. तो वो नहीं कर सकता वो. That he couldn't do. Also, there were some rules which are different here as compared to the US. So he had to follow those rules. Gate fees high थी. तो मुंबई तो आओगे, gate fees तो high होंगी. तो क्या करोगे? तुम्हारा low cost का that whole model collapses. So he tried his best, given the circumstances there. But see, if there is, one way to evaluate whether you are successful or not is, okay, company profitable है कि नहीं. Fair. So that in that sense, he was in loss when he was acquired by Kingfisher. It was not that he was in profit, he was in loss and he got acquired by Kingfisher. वो एक अलग ही story. That's an entire.
And then he tried to make Air Deccan into a more like a premium.
नहीं.
Right?
Let's come back to that, because that's an entire topic about why it
So
didn't
am I
work.
right or am I wrong here?
No, not at
Okay,
all.
ठीक.
You are not. The story or the reason behind that acquisition was something completely different, which is why I said कि उसका एक अलग ही angle है. But if we just want to stay with the low cost concept, the fact that it was a good idea can be seen by the fact that almost everybody started their own low cost airline immediately. Jet Airways started Jetlight. Air India का Air India Express was born as a result of that. It's still operating today.
Yes.
Right? That was because of Deccan that they started. नहीं तो नहीं कर रहे थे. And so many others. Spice started, Go Air started, Indigo started. All of them started because of this guy. So this guy is definitely the father in India for low cost airline. अब बाद में there were too many factors that happened. ना slow down भी हुआ, crude oil price भी बढ़ा, blah 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 blah. वो तो चलता रहा. And that time we didn't have probably जो आज हम लोग बोल रहे हैं. In fact, if we look at your question in a different way, आज वो चलेगा क्या? Perhaps if Xavier and Navi Mumbai airport and another airport in Tamil Nadu which is close to Bangalore, if all of them come online in the next 3 years, maybe that story would have been different. Maybe Deccan Air would have been super successful. कि एयरपोर्ट्स ही एयरपोर्ट्स है, लो एयरपोर्ट फीस है, पीपल आर कीन टू फ्लाई, हंग्री टू फ्लाई. पूना में नया टर्मिनल चालू हुआ है लास्ट वीक पूना में नया टर्मिनल चालू हुआ है. सो थिंग्स आर मूविंग इन द राइट डायरेक्शन. यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ स्मॉल एयरपोर्ट्स एंड यू नो द कॉस्ट का इट्स ऑलवेज दैट डिमांड सप्लाई थिंग ना यार. बहुत सप्लाई होगा, कोई तो उसको क्रैक करेगा कोड. आकाशा आया है, वी हैव स्टिल नॉट सीन व्हाट आकाशा कैन डू. So in India, a lot of them have adopted, but not just in India. In Europe also, you have this company called Ryanair. You have another low-cost company called JetBlue. You have one called Sprint in the US. Oh, Spirit in the US. So there is a bunch of planes who are all copying in some form or fashion what this guy did. एक बार ऐसा ना, एक बार वो मॉडल आगे बोलेगा, अरे हाँ ये तो हम भी कर सकते हैं. So everybody has done that and more or less they have done well. Now today, if you see, Southwest is not doing well. Today. I think since COVID they've been having a bad time. So you could say नहीं वो कोविड के टाइम पे प्रॉब्लम हुआ था. So that becomes more specific to one catastrophic event ना, कि यार कोविड की वजह से काफ़ी लोग के कैलकुलेशंस गड़बड़ हो गए ना. कोविड के टाइम पे एविएशन सेक्टर पे कितने वीडियोस बने हैं, कितने आर्टिकल्स लिखे गए, बिकॉज इट वॉज समथिंग न्यू. प्लेन खड़े हैं 1 महीना, ऐसा होता ही नहीं था. राइट, इट नेवर हैपेंड दैट प्लेन उड़ा ही नहीं, 1 महीना नहीं उड़ा. एंड दैट्स व्हाट हैड हैपेंड फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इन हिस्ट्री probably of aviation. But if you want to talk about the Kingfisher...
No, before that I want to know, the second follow-up question that I didn't ask was, do you think because of more supply of airplanes and because of more airports, the theory of supply and demand would stick there, or it would be something different? कि हाँ supply बढ़ा अगर, तो obviously जो demand है, और उस वजह से सप्लाई बढ़ने की वजह से जो प्राइस है वो घटना चाहिए, वो घटेगा.
Yes, 100%, एब्सोल्युटली होगा.
And would it make airlines profitable as well?
हाँ.
Because अगर उनको profitable होना है तो then at least they need to stick with the prices that are today.
Correct. So यार, again,
I think the competition will kill them more.
No, crude oil moves in its own way, right? Crude oil doesn't care कि इंडिया का एविएशन फ्यूल कितना खरीद, उसमें वो डिमांड सप्लाई डजंट वर्क, राइट? क्रूड ऑयल का प्राइस इज गवर्न्ड बाय कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट फैक्टर्स. सो अगर उस टाइम पे एज यू कैन से क्रूड ऑयल ने साथ दिया तो दिस गाइज विल मेक इट.
यू थिंक इट विल?
वो नहीं मालूम. अगेन दैट्स मतलब ओपेक एंड क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस लाइक अ प्रॉब्ली नॉट अ पॉडकास्ट बट एन एंटायर चैनल कैन बी डेडिकेटेड टू दैट, राइट? कि 2 साल बाद, हाँ मतलब दैट्स सच अ बिग एंड कॉम्प्लिकेटेड टॉपिक, राइट?
आई थिंक एक चीज़ और क्या इफेक्ट कर सकती है कि अब देयर आर मोर एंड मोर रिसर्चेस गोइंग ऑन फॉर गोइंग ऑयल फ्री.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Agreed.
So maybe
that
then the pressure on crude
biofuel,
after a point, after maybe 15 years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe 15-20 years.
Yes.
The developed countries would be the ones who would be starting it, right?
No, so actually Airbus and Boeing are both already doing a lot of research on, like I said, adding some kind of a organic component or a bio component to aviation fuel, and it's going well. I think they have reached 4%, 5% so far. You can add.
Yes, but again, airlines, those are already in losses.
Right.
They won't be able to take that leap, right?
That's fine. So see, a company might go out of business and another company might acquire it. We are talking about a sector as such, right? Because it's not that उनका बाकी सब perfect है, right? Like maybe their staff are not paid correctly, maybe their service is not good, maybe their routes are not good. There are so many things going on, right? So it's not that that's the only factor. For example, and thoda sa I'm digressing a little, Jet Airways went out of business 3-4 years ago? I think before the pandemic, if I'm not mistaken, or just at the beginning of pandemic. तब से लेके आज तक उनका they went to the bankruptcy court. There were going on. Somebody took over Jet. Supposedly took over. I think the consortium was called Carl Rock Consortium, which took over.
Carl Rock,
I think it was the name. Yeah, it was called Jalan Carl Rock Consortium.
Okay.
Thanks for unnecessarily making me have to see this. He is responsible. Please note. So
the camera is here.
This guy. So Jalan Carl Rock was the guys who were supposed to take over.
take over what?
Jet Airways.
Okay.
जो भी उनके assets है, जो भी because their planes are still lying at the airport, at Mumbai airport.
Acha.
Yeah, where do the planes go, right? If you go bankrupt, the planes don't disappear, right? They're still lying there. So they had those planes that you can take over and you can restart the company, right? That's what bankruptcy board does. But they never made the payment. They never made all the payments required to take over. तो अभी वापस वो hold पे चला गया है proceedings.
So there was a talk, no, that Jet Airways might come back.
That's what. So these guys were supposed to take it over, but उनका there's some issue with their payments, and so it never happened.
What do you think?
तो अटक गया. I don't know. That is a financial issue.
Does anyone have a clear idea that what is going to be the future of aviation?
I think Mr. Junjunwala had an idea, which is why he started an airline. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Akasa does differently. And I'm looking forward to seeing Akasa's financials when they become available.
But again, we
What
don't
is
have
the-
another Jhunjhunwala here, right?
We don't, but Akasa has already started, right? He's already put his plan in place. So we will still see how it's going to work out. His wife is very much on the board, if I'm not mistaken. She's the chairman or chairperson. So we will see how it works out, right? Indigo seems to have cracked the code. चलो आगे आपको Akasa तक नहीं डालना है. So Indigo has cracked the code. What? By the way, I mean one big topic that we missed out: Tatas.
Yes.
Do you see how? Sometimes people don't realize how big Tatas have become in the airline space. They already
Very
had Vistara.
fast.
They had already had Vistara. They bought Air India. They also have a stake in Air Asia. Right? Plus, they are already partners with Singapore Airlines.
Okay.
So they have that expertise. They have the financial power, operational power of Tata. They have the expertise of Singapore Airlines. And they now have such a huge, 4 brands. You have Vistara, Air India, Air Asia together. Right? So they'll probably crack the code. They'll probably be able to figure out how to do it, what to do.
Yeah.
So 2, 3, that's why I said it's very, very interesting space to see what's going to happen. Will they really be able to make Air India profitable? How will they integrate Vistara? They're saying we are not going to have 2 different brands. We're going to have only Air India as the brand. That's the original brand that one of their founders, JRD Tata, started, right? So, it's going to be very exciting to see when it finally takes shape. I remember their CEO said that it's like a huge vessel, huge ship. It takes time to turn around. It's taking time. It's taking time to turn around. But it's going to be something interesting to see how they tackle it. They are going to be the big guy in the room, right? They're going to be the biggest. And then you have Indigo, which is purely in the low cost space. Air India is now playing in both. You have Air India Express, which is low cost. Air Asia, which is low cost. But then you have Vistara and Air India, which is full service. So you have one player in both. So that's
And
interesting.
they have also Singapore Airlines. As
Singapore
well.
Airlines is a partner. So they are able to do code sharing. So they are able to have that advantage. Right? So, I mean, it's a very interesting space and add that airports. We might have the second golden age, if you want to call it. Their first golden age was when so many people were starting their own airlines. Okay, they didn't work out, but I mean, that's part of life, right? Same thing happened even in retail in India, right? So many brands, so many companies got into retail.
So now tell me about that Kingfisher taking over Air Deccan.
Okay. So Deccan had started. Uski baad, there are other low-cost airlines had come in. But Deccan was in losses. Meanwhile, Kingfisher had started their airline, which was a full-service premium airline. And people used to love it. Okay? Really premium experience. Okay? People are very happy. Kingfisher, including me, by the way. Kingfisher is superb, great, amazing. But
I am also happy with Kingfisher for some other product.
okay, good to know. Good to know. But Vijay Mallya wanted to go international. Now, at that time, there was a rule that you had to be in operation for at least 5 years to apply for an international license. That is why he acquired Deccan. Because Deccan had been in business for 5 years. So by acquiring Deccan, he could go international. So it was not about synergy. It was not about, I should become low cost. It was about getting the license to start international flights or apply for international flights.
And Air Deccan let it.
Because they were in losses, right? Air Deccan was already in losses. So Air Deccan had, I mean, I'm not saying they had no choice, but for Air Deccan it was okay. Let's somehow keep continuing, keep going, right? Because it was his mission, it was his dream. So it wasn't because a lot of people today don't understand that or don't know that part. That was because of that he acquired it, not because he thought कि हाँ यार मुझे भी सस्ता एयरलाइन चालू करना है. He was very clear, at least from what I understood, he was very clear about being a premium airline.
ठीक.
But then he would have had to wait another 3 years or 4 years to go international. So he said यार उससे अच्छा मैं उसको acquire कर लेता हूँ. And that's when things started going wrong because people said अरे ये तो premium था, ये तो everybody can fly, ये क्या connection है?
तो एयर डेक्कन के नाम से ही फिर प्रीमियम हो गया.
So initially there was Air Deccan. Then they started calling it Kingfisher Red.
अच्छा.
Kingfisher Red, I think was Kingfisher Red, which was the low cost one, and then Kingfisher. But it was too difficult for people to understand. See, you have a brand which is new. Already, लोगों के mind में उसका impression अभी अभी बन रहा है. Now you are going and acquiring a brand which is almost the opposite of what you are. You are further confusing people. आप समझ रहे हो? You are further confusing people. अरे but तुम तो ये थे, अब तुम ये हो गए. So it was too much for people to understand कि नहीं actually ये है, and people are not going to understand, the typical consumer is not going to understand this concept कि अरे उसको लाइसेंस चाहिए था इसलिए उसने ऐसा. He is going to say अरे ये तो किंगफिशर तो प्रीमियम था, अभी ये लोग मेरे को खाने का पैसा मांग रहे हैं, क्या हो रहा है? So then everything started going wrong, and of course as usual crude oil issues, fluctuations, oversupply, वो सब तो चल ही रहा था. Everything came together. Right, so that's a separate sort of a problem, a separate issue that happened.